More hot foil on deck. Hey everyone, it's Cathy Zielske. Welcome back to my channel and my studio. Today I'm busting out the hot foil again to create a really shiny card. I'm excited to show you my first hot foil plate that I've created for Simon Says Stamp, and it works with something I've already designed. So to see that card, stick around. It's coming up next. Here's a look at the products I'm going to be using today. These are some hot foiling products. One of these is a beautiful background from Spellbinders, and the other is a die that I created called the Joyful Hot Foil Plate. The thing that's kind of cool about this foil plate is if you already own my CZ Design Joyful, they are the same size. So the shadow layer, it will, let's see, I know how to do this, it will cut out this hot foil, which is kind of cool. So, of course, you can just use this as a standalone on a project, but those are the basics. I'll be using some Hammermill cardstock to hopefully increase my foiling success. And I'm also going to be using a few inks from Simon Says Stamp to create a simple blend for this card. So, let's get started. I'm going to, let's just pick this up here. Ooh, unstick. Oh, we're sticking. All right, I got it off the back. So I'm just gonna drop you down there for right now. Let that warm up a little. And I'm gonna take out, have I even used this one? Oh, wow, I haven't. So let me cut it free. I'm not worried about little excess pieces, so I'm gonna go like that, right? Pretty side to pretty side. I'm gonna put a piece of Hammermill, oh, just one piece, my Hammermill cardstock here, and my shims here. So I have my clear plate and my shim. And let's hit the timer. Let that heat up. The timer has gone off. So what I'm going to do is bring in my Spellbinders die cut machine, and then I'm just going to dislodge this from the base of the Glimmer, and let's line you up here like that, and we're going to run this through. And I like to go a little slow just to give that foil nice even slow pressure. We'll come back. A little squeaky. Yikes. All right, and then take this off. I'm going to lift off this friend. I will pick this up with my magnet, although it's not as strong. It's harder to do, I think, with the bigger tools or the bigger die plates. And now let's see how it looks. I hope I foiled it. I think that I did. So let's do the peel and reveal. Ooh, look at that foily goodness. Isn't that pretty? Oh, I love it. I'm not worried about little extra overfoils here. I can remove those with my creative detailer, but I'm going to add a little color to this. So I'm going to start out today using some Simon inks. And I recently did a video where I used my little waffle flower setup, and it's nice. This stencil mat is really nice. And you can get messy on here, and you know, nobody's gonna say anything about it. So I'm gonna pick up some Cheeky, okay, and just bring some onto this panel. And I'm gonna try to keep it light if I can, right? The foil will actually resist color, which is kind of cool. And that's nice, but it also, this ink blends beautifully once it dries down, okay? So we'll have a little bit of Cheeky. We're gonna grab a little bit of Peachy. There. These just kind of pop in, and I'll take my brush for oranges, maybe go off a little, and then just bring in some Peachy. Yeah, we're just bringing in a nice partial rainbow. My mat's sliding a bit on my surface. Okay, that's pretty too. Like that. That is lemonade. Bring that in. And we're going to bring in just the tiniest bit, well, not tiny, but we're going to bring in some celery. Come in from the bottom, like that. I think I had a little other green on here, but that's okay, because it's just for some color. It's actually a throwback to pretty much what is my favorite blend, just going from a red, or pink, if you will, into orange, yellow, and then green. And isn't that pretty? So now we're just gonna let that beautiful shiny thing dry, and then I'm gonna have to figure out what is the greeting going to be, because I haven't decided, haven't thought ahead that far. Okay. Moving on. Actually, I'm just gonna take my little cloth, just go over like that. And see here, even with overfoiling areas, does not even matter, because, you know, no one's going to notice that. They're just going to see the beautiful shine, although I am going to trim this down. I figure right now I can just trim this down with my paper trimmer. And I want this to end up being probably 3 3/4 wide. Okay. Like that. By 5 tall. So I'll just cut off some of the overfoiling as it happened on those edges, and like that. So now I have a trimmed panel for my card. For my greeting, I'm going to take this joyful hot foil plate. This is the first hot foil plate I've ever done as part of my collection. The thing that is kind of cool about this is that, and I don't, oh yes, I do have it. It works with my joyful word and shadow dies. So this shadow right here will cut out this, and that's what I'm going to do. As soon as the platform is ready, we're gonna, well, I'll just pop it on right now. We're gonna let that warm up quite a bit, and we will proceed with foiling this joyful. Okay, the light is green, and so I'm going to take the pretty side of the foil to the pretty side of my plate, right? I'm going to grab my paper. So this is just a piece of the Hammermill right there. I'm going to put on one of my shims and the clear plate and hit that timer. All right, the light has gone off, so disengage gently, and I will pop this right here. Move this out of the way a little bit, and I'm just going to run it through to apply pressure to the hot plate. Come back a little, like that. Just go over it a few times, and coming back. A little squeaky there. All right. Let's take the shims off. I'm going to pick up my foiled piece and look at that. That's beautiful. Oh, I love it. All right. Now I'm just going to pick this up, and because it's hot right now, and just take my little mat and disengage. I'm not really sure why that stuck so nicely, but there you go. Now I can go ahead and cut this out. Now I'll just frame this out till I can see the joyful, and it is going to cut this beautifully. And then I'll just put a little tape on one side and a little tape on the other. Let me grab my Gemini plates came untaped, so I need to tape those again. But we always cut into the same plate. I accidentally cut a single hoe into that one. So don't do that. Don't do that. Now, I also have something kind of fun here. Let's see how it works. The die cut cam is back. There she is, just that lovely little friend. Now, let's take this, and I'll just pop this out, and it should look great. So, look at how pretty this is. While I'm here, I'm going to cut out 2 more shadow layers so I can glue them to the back for some dimension. Just put a little spray glue on the back so that I can take a couple layers here, like that. There's layer 1. The pretty layer is going to go on top. So I'll go like that. Like that. That just gives it a little dimension, a little substantialness. And look at how pretty that is. So my thinking is this friend is going to pop up on here. Now that is a very joyful thing, right? I'm kind of digging it. Maybe, you know what? I still feel like I want this to have 1 more layer. So let me glue 1 more and then we'll build our card. Go ahead and score our note card at 5.5. Like that. And fold that down and take my Teflon bone folder and give that a nice press. All right, so we're going to have this nice margin. Let's take the backers off like that. Like that. That looks pretty good. All right, now we're going to have Joyful just be in the center. And you know what? I don't think I'm going to do a subgreeting or anything. I don't want to mar this up at all with, like, I don't know, like a sentiment strip or a subgreeting or anything. So here's what I'm going to do. I'll just grab this. I'm going to take a little bit of my Connect glue. And just go over the back so that this will adhere nicely. You could use spray glue too, but I like to have a little wiggle room. Okay, so we're going to just let that sit for a second. Get nice and tacky. I can bring in my ruler as well, just to guide it once it's in place. But it's kind of hard when you have the parts of the letters that dip down are called descenders, and the parts that come up are called ascenders. And that's what I love about a lowercase typeface like this, is that you have that playful up and down of those particular letter forms. But it makes it a little harder when you're trying to butt this right up against. So what I like to do is just sort of hover it like that and say, you know what, I think that's good. And we will press like that. Oh my gosh, look at this beautiful, shiny, wonderful shine. Again, you could certainly add some sort of subgreeting to this. I am going to see if I have a sequin that will work. Even though I pulled some sequins, and a sequin like this is cool because it has this same sort of iridescent as this aura color, I don't want to do anything. I want that to just stand alone and be the finished card. And so, there you go. That is my finished card project. Sometimes you have to bypass the boop. Hashtag bypass the boop. And it's all good, my friends. It's all good. You can find links to all the supplies I used in today's video below in the YouTube description box. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you back here with another card project soon. To see more of my adventures in hot foiling, check out the 2 thumbnails I have linked for you below, and I'll see you in those videos.